I went from a dead silent 0 to 33k genuinely engaged followers of stressed, burnout, anxious people looking for nervous system support in under 12 months without posting every day, without ads, and without a single piece of content that felt like marketing. These are the exact people you're trying to reach. Here's what made them trust me and how to make them trust you instead. For years, I tried everything. Random topics, trendy formats, copying whatever works for others. I had this empty feeling, like I was posting randomly just to get views. None of it matched what I actually wanted, to help people. I was exhausted, I was invisible, and started to wonder if the actual problem was me, not my content, until I understood these 3 things. And the first one will probably make you uncomfortable. 1. Stop doing pure education, especially if your methodology is grounded in neuroscience or somatic science. Look, explaining polyvagal theory correctly builds authority. But authority alone doesn't make a burnout professional trust you or book a session. So what actually converts? Content that describes what dysregulation feels like in their bodies at 11 p.m., not just what dysregulation is in clinical terms. Share what worked for you when your own nervous system was dysregulated. Explain the why behind the practice, not just the practice itself. The result will turn your scientific credibility into emotional resonance. Authority plus trust is the combination nobody else in your space has. Okay, so the next one is where most coaches completely go wrong. They hide the real story. Your wins are nice, but your embarrassing flops, your own burnout, your own dysregulation, your I couldn't get out of bed phase. For a nervous system coach, that's not unprofessional to share. That actually is your methodology made human. So when I started sharing mine, DMs actually started floating in. People were going like, you actually get me. Polish wins impress, raw failures connect. Okay, so the third one is the uncomfortable truth no one wants to hear. Learn how to be unapologetically yourself and ruthlessly detach from everyone else's viral success. I know it sounds obvious, but it's shockingly not. The moment you go public, something weird happens. You start unconsciously copying people who seems to be working. You hide your real voice because you're terrified of judgment. You start chasing proven clones. And then one day, you wake up feeling completely lost because what you're doing doesn't feel like you anymore. And the worst version of this for scientifically grounded coaches is when you start dumping down all of your content because someone told you to keep it simple. But in that way, you lose your depth, you lose your edge, and you look exactly like everyone else. So the fix for this is simple. Stop obsessing over people results and do whatever feels right for you. For example, my unique value is where science meets ancient wisdom. Some people might say that doesn't make sense, but it does for me and for my audience. So decide what you want your content to look and sound like. Even if it doesn't blow up immediately, trust me, you will get rewarded later. Now, I build these on Instagram in Italian, explaining neuroscience to people dealing with stress and burnout, and I repurpose the same content on TikTok. But here's what you need to understand before the next part. I'm not showing you this because Instagram is the answer for you. I'm showing you this because the mechanism making your ideal client feel like the internal experience is finally being described with scientific precision works identically on LinkedIn, on TikTok, or any platform where real humans are scrolling. The platform changes, human psychology doesn't. And for burnout and nervous system coaches, specifically coaches whose methodology is grounded in real science, this is your single biggest untapped advantage. Because you have the clinical depth to describe your client's inner experience more accurately than anyone else. You just haven't been shown how to translate it yet. So I want you to know something very important. This game is endless trial and error. It requires stubborn consistency, even when you fail. I spent over 3 years figuring this out. Posting every night after university, after internships, noting every idea on my phone at midnight, testing every format, failing more than I succeed. But I kept going because I was genuinely excited to find what worked. And that's what eventually led me to brand partnerships too. It's never going to be perfect. It's a constant balancing act between staying true to yourself and communicating in a way that actually lands. And by the way, this exact mechanism is what made people actually want my offer without a single hard pitch. My content made them trust me before they ever saw the sales page. So if you want to skip those painful years and get personalized, ready to apply clarity for your content, comment trust below. The first 3 people get a free personalized breakdown. What's working in your content, what isn't, and the one thing I'd change first. Whether that's Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, or a combination. I'll send you everything in a message. The mechanism works across all the platforms, systems. The translation problem is the same everywhere. So, if you've been posting for months, maybe years, and you're still invisible to the exact people you're trained to help, and if you're watching less qualified coaches get clients that should be yours, this is the shift that changes that. Comment or DM me trust, and let's make this shift happen.